Welcome back to Match B2B Insights. Today, we're getting straight to the root of B2B growth economics, customer acquisition cost, or CAC, and we're anchoring our conversation in that critical but oddly underrated force, brand. Because, let's be honest, in B2B, most still think of brand as a design asset or just awareness. But a real defensible brand? It's actually a trust engine. It smooths the rough edges off every part of your funnel: marketing, sales, onboarding. A brand isn't just your logo in a new color. In the CAC world, it's about compounding trust, which reliably brings CAC down, deal after deal.
Right, and you can see that play out in the numbers. A strong brand up front that does the trust building even before sales shows up absolutely slashes friction at every stage. Fewer touches, higher close rates, and critically, you unlock that magical friends bring friends effect. People are 10 times more likely to refer, partners more willing to co-sign, and suddenly you have acquisition streams at near zero CAC rolling in. That's not just efficient, it's exponential. And it never happens if your messaging and positioning are all over the map, especially across borders.
Yeah, and when we talk paid channels, here's the kicker. Branded demand brings your cost per click down, improves click-through, drives up conversions. It doesn't make performance media cheap, but it makes it a hell of a lot more efficient. And don't forget the internal side. A tight-lived brand isn't just for prospects. It sharpens your ICP alignment across marketing, sales, and CS. You spend less time resetting expectations or working the wrong leads. That's a real hidden cost most companies miss.
I love that. A company's best CAC advantage is actually built in layers: consistency, reputation, and proof. And unlike a single campaign, brand investments, case studies, wins, positive references, compound. You don't start from zero every campaign. Instead, every proof point lowers acquisition cost for the next cohort. That compounding effect? That's the game changer, especially as international firms scale. It's the flywheel, not the funnel.
All right, let's get brutally honest about CAC calculations. Most people, especially early-stage founders, look at ad spend and call it a day. That's not just wrong, it's dangerous. If you want real control over CAC, you have to fully load it. That means every salary for sales, marketing, commissions, creative production, tools, software, overhead supporting your GTM. Only then do you have the true baseline. And let's scrap the idea that a single blended CAC means much. It hides all your real problems.
This reminds me, and I still beat myself up for it. Years back, I worked with an eager little SaaS in Netanya. On paper, their CAC was beautiful, looked clean. But when we finally drilled into geosegmentation, what do you think happened? The German paid media campaigns were a sinkhole, bleeding margin, and no one saw it till we broke it out. It nearly tanked their Q2. If we hadn't caught it, I don't know if they'd have survived their expansion.
Benny, that's such a classic trap. But it's rampant. Segmenting CAC by cohort, channel, campaign, persona, even region isn't just nerdy detail work. It's survival. That's how you find your hidden winners. And your money pits. And by the way, you gotta include those quiet expenses. Those lingering HubSpot subscriptions, agency fees, that video team you forgot you're still paying. Otherwise, your model is just fantasy accounting.
And don't forget payback period and LTV to CAC. A $700 CAC in SaaS might be great if LTV is $8,000, but a $200 CAC with $600 LTV? That's a slow death. Track both, always. And that too low CAC? Sometimes that means you're not investing enough in quality customers. If sales is screaming for leads but only low-fit deals come in, you end up increasing churn, not just CAC.
So what makes CAC jump or drop? It's not just industry averages, although if you're in SaaS right now, your benchmark might be $239 to $702. B2B fintech way, way higher, up to $1,450. But really, it's about deal complexity, length of the cycle, competition intensity, and trust hurdles. Try comparing CAC for cybersecurity in the DACH region versus entertainment marketing in the US. That's apples and bicycles.
Exactly. And your departments control more than you think. If marketing's lead gen is off, SDRs are wasting time on low-fit leads and you get a bloated CAC. Sales? If their win rates stink, your CAC skyrockets. Product impacts it too. If onboarding's painful, CAC goes up just from extra hand-holding. Even legal and compliance slow you down with contract bottlenecks. It's a full company metric, not just a marketing problem.
Let's not forget regional differences. For Israeli SMBs selling abroad, localization is what reduces CAC. Just translating isn't enough. If your messaging and reference stories aren't tailored, you'll pay the distrust and confusion tax in new markets. I worked with an AI software firm. After we introduced an SDR playbook that mapped German buying culture, the time to pipeline didn't just improve, it halved. Purely cultural tweaks, big impact.
It's a team sport all the way down. Brian, here's a question for you. Does product-led growth really drop CAC for heavy enterprise? My gut says it works better for SMB or self-serve, but I'm curious if you think it scales to big, risk-averse buyers.
Not easily, Brenda. For enterprise, product-led motions help with initial interest, but trust proof, demos, and reference integration stay key for real CAC reduction. Enterprise buyers want risk off the table before they sign.
I always say you don't cut CAC by hunting more leads. You cut it by hunting better ones. Refined ICPs, real triggers, proof layers. That's the mix. Don't dump money into the top of the funnel just to brag about MQLs. Instead, invest early in one or two killer international case studies, some video testimonials, a few solid references will actually take a call. That builds trust and compresses onboarding costs like nothing else. Especially for Israeli firms entering the States, you need that I can see it works for people like me moment upfront.
That's so spot on. Back in my agency days, I worked on a cloud SaaS play trying to crack the US. The digital onboarding ramp was brutal until we localized just a single success story. Instantly, 30% CAC drop in digital lead onboarding. One piece of proof, just one, unlocked the whole pipeline. So payback by cohort isn't just theory. Sometimes it's a single, targeted fix.
I want to double down, Brenda. If you want durable CAC reduction, automate where it makes sense, but not where it kills trust. And don't let teams spin annual reviews when you can see CAC trends by cohort or channel in real time. Track, measure, adapt, align. Make LTV CAC the universal language across marketing, sales, product, and CS. Otherwise, you're stuck chasing vanity funnel stats with no commercial backbone.
Okay, now let's talk about how you actually scale international CAC improvements, especially without stressing your team to the breaking point. The secret? Let data analytics do the heavy lifting. Use segmentation and predictive analytics to pinpoint which regions, industries, or segments have the highest LTV CAC ratio. It's all about stacking your chips where you get maximum ROI.
And if you want real speed, cross-border collaboration is a must. Create teams with local market expertise. So marketing, sales, and CS work as one. Adapting messaging, fixing onboarding flows, capitalizing on what actually works regionally. That synergy is what lets you pivot fast. One size fits all fails every time, especially in Europe or APAC.
You also need ongoing feedback loops, constantly checking campaign data, prospect feedback, sales cycles by region. Without regular reviews and rapid iteration, even the best GTM playbook goes stale. You want to catch CAC bloat before it becomes an annual boardroom fire drill. Test, adapt, repeat.
This is one I'm obsessive about: organizational alignment. You want long-term, predictable gains in CAC efficiency? It starts with shared ownership. Cross-functional growth teams, metrics visible across all departments, and constant communication. When teams see CAC as a shared KPI, you move from finger-pointing to real collaboration.
Yeah, and get those dashboards out of Excel hell. Standardize metrics. Make sure everyone is looking at the real, fully loaded CAC, not cherry-picked slices. Incentivize teams accordingly. Training and incentives built around CAC and LTV goals turn everyone into a stakeholder for cost-efficient growth, not just for their department.
I like to add, keep updating your playbooks. Markets shift, so your org has to stay nimble. And the more you train for data fluency, helping everyone from sales to product people understand CAC levers, the more your cost efficiency compounds. Don't make it a review once a year. Make it the backbone of reviews and compensation structures.
So let's dig into tech. If you're not leveraging analytics platforms to get real-time engagement data, you're already lagging. Integrate your automation and AI-driven tools for personalizing outreach, region, behavior, segment. Every incremental improvement in targeting or timing can shave real dollars off CAC, especially as you scale internationally.
And this is big. Commit to structured A/B testing. Don't guess whether video works better than static or which message lands. Run the experiments, measure rigorously, and refine. The ongoing experimental loop is where you catch what works early and ramp fast.
But, and don't let anyone tell you otherwise, automation is only good if it doesn't kill trust. Over-automating follow-ups or sequences, that can tank win rates and bloat CAC if buyers sense you've gone robotic. Balance automation for efficiency, but keep quality and human touch intact, especially on large deals.
I'll keep this super tactical. Customer journey mapping is gold for finding drop-off points and plugging funnel leaks, reducing waste, lifting conversion efficiency. Plus, predictive analytics lets you prioritize the prospects most likely to convert. It means fewer wasted calls, higher win rates, and a leaner CAC.
Data hygiene too. Keeping your contacts, prospects, and customer info up to date, that's boring, I know. But every bad email or outdated record is a wasted spend. Clean data is a CAC saver across all acquisition programs.
It's about precision. The more you tie data points to actual behaviors, not guesswork, the more you can narrow messaging and drop the habit of chunky, scattershot campaigns. I always say the more targeted the message, the lower the CAC. Every time. Let's go a level deeper. CAC reduction isn't just analytics, it's a full-blown mindset. Make CAC metrics part of performance reviews and incentives so people care about efficiency just as much as volume. Share best practices cross-team and encourage quick pilot projects to test new ideas. If you treat CAC like a living, breathing KPI, you'll create an organization that's always hunting for savings.
That's why I love CAC task forces too. Small, agile teams tasked with evaluating cost-saving pilots and sharing learnings across regions or functions. But you gotta back it up with a culture of learning, not fear. Punishing errors in CAC experiments kills innovation. Share what works and what doesn't openly.
And make it visible. Leaderboards, dashboards, quick wins called out in town halls. Makes optimization a game, not a punishment. When everyone can see the impact, you get momentum behind every cost-cutting experiment. Partnerships. This is one of the most overlooked CAC levers, especially for small, hungry teams. When you build alliances with local partners, resellers, or trusted associations, you can piggyback off their trust with a customer base you couldn't reach, and you compress your ramp-up costs and sales cycles.
And the beauty is, these partnerships often yield high-quality referrals, which convert at much higher rates, near zero CAC compared to paid acquisition. Co-marketing with established players can boost trust instantly, and classic referral programs with incentives turn your existing customers and partners into a free sales force.
Yep, friend brings friend is the oldest school, most efficient acquisition engine there is. If you think referrals are nice to have, Look at any B2B company with 50% organic growth. The real secret is a systematic referral engine, not brute force ad budgets.
All about test and learn. A/B frameworks are non-negotiable across every channel, not just ads. You need to know which messaging, which segments, which creatives are actually pulling their weight. Don't let opinions rule. Let the data decide. And don't stop at CAC. Measure depth of engagement, not just the shallow stuff.
Exactly. Set real review cycles, monthly ideally. Look at what moved the needle in each region, what stalled, what trended up or down. Make adjustments proactively. Waiting for quarterly reviews is too slow, especially in international settings where costs and returns can change rapidly.
And bake these KPIs into every team's dashboard. When performance is visible, by region, by channel, everyone gets smarter, and you avoid repeating the same mistakes in slow motion year after year. For global expansion, compliance is everything. GDPR, CCPA, regional industry standards can slow deals and inflate CAC if you're not on top of it. Develop local onboarding flows and clear legal protocols. The smoother it is, the faster your sales cycles and the lower your CAC in each new market.
Don't sleep on cultural workshops. A universal pitch script won't land everywhere. Take the time to understand how buying decisions are made in market, adjust language, and collect local success stories for your decks. Sometimes a single regional testimonial knocks weeks off the sales cycle.
Yeah, I've seen deals derailed because a deck was too American or skipped a compliance box. Understanding and respecting local nuances and legal frameworks isn't a nice to have. It's CAC prevention, pure and simple. Data should be the undercurrent of every acquisition strategy. Routine training sessions. Make every marketing, sales, customer success pro data literate. A single source of truth dashboard, visible to all, lets you track CAC, regional metrics, progress to benchmarks in real time. It cuts politics, accelerates response, and keeps teams accountable.
And structure quarterly cross-functional reviews for trend spotting and rapid experimentation. The winners scale, the losers get sunsetted. This creates a culture of iteration. CAC improvement becomes a system, not just a one-off project after a bad quarter.
When everyone's swimming in the same data pool, you cut out misalignment. I used to spend half my time as a consultant just reconciling reports. Now, one dashboard, real-time, updated forecasts, done. Frees up people to focus on execution instead of endless debate.
No CAC discussion would be complete without looking at the future. If your growth depends on battle-worn legacy systems, you're stuck. Scalable, cloud-based CRMs and automation platforms mean you can expand into new markets with lower incremental costs. And emerging tech, AI, ML, predictive analytics, those are your force multipliers.
I'm seeing more teams create innovation squads, not just for product, but for GTM innovation. They test new channels, new messages, different partnership models, even unconventional pilot campaigns. And they track real CAC deltas over time. That's the edge in competitive international markets, where standing still means moving backward.
And don't forget scenario planning. Markets shift, regulations tighten, pricing norms change, media costs jump. You need tools and a mindset ready to pounce on change, not react a quarter later. Make agility part of your CAC reduction strategy.
Acquisition doesn't end at the deal. Onboarding speed is a major CAC lever. Targeted, efficient onboarding compacts the payback period, prevents early churn, and drops overall cost to acquire per customer. Plus, post-sale engagement, personalized re-engagement campaigns or feedback loops keeps that LTV climbing.
It's a win-win. Well-designed onboarding and quick value delivery mean less firefighting, less churn, and lower support costs. Every happy customer is a little profit center, and potentially a new referral pipeline.
Engage, listen, and repeat. Early feedback feeds product teams, improves first impressions, and makes every new customer an opportunity for lower future CAC. Think of it as growing your trusted brand assets in real time.
This is how you break out of the just optimize what already exists rut. Regularly test new acquisition channels, messaging angles, and partnership models, even if most fail. You only need one breakout success to shift the CAC median. And AI or predictive tools can help spot underappreciated segments or microtrends.
But do it intentionally. A structured experimentation framework, not throw spaghetti. Document results, iterate, and pursue actual ROI. Forecast different CAC lowering moves before you spend big. And share learnings across teams so everyone benefits from new insight.
Takes guts, but it's what keeps your acquisition engine modern. If you don't pilot new ideas ahead of the market, someone else will, and you'll inherit all their CAC pain when they drive up costs chasing the same crowded buyer. Execution ain't sexy, but it's where CAC dreams live or die. Establish a unified dashboard with data feeds for marketing, sales, CS. You need real-time, actionable CAC and ROI numbers split by region, by channel. Use operating procedures for campaign launches, lead qualification, and handoffs so processes don't get sloppy as you scale.
And stick to a quarterly review system. Look at what won and what stalled in each territory. Then realign teams and tactics promptly. No more, let's wait out Q4 and hope. That urgency keeps everyone sharp, CAC tight, and enables fast pivots.
When you standardize, monitor, and automate where it makes sense, you get predictability. That's what lets your teams focus on the creative, relationship-building side, not scramble to explain cost overruns in arrears. If your team isn't using predictive analytics to spot high LTV prospects at the top of the funnel, you're wasting effort. Automated lead scoring increases conversion rates, reduces time spent on low-quality opportunities. Then, cohort analysis lets you understand exactly which groups deliver the best return and why.
It's not magic, it's hygiene. These tools cut guesswork from campaign plans. You learn where to double down and when to rethink the plan. Better targeting, faster adjustments, and lower trial and error costs all add up to lower CAC every cycle.
Plus, integrating these scores into campaign management brings alignment between sales and marketing. Sales teams get better leads. Marketing gets credit for quality, not just quantity. That feedback loop keeps the focus on profitable growth, not just sheer volume. Mapping the entire customer lifecycle isn't just for retention geeks. It's a CAC lever. Finding those early engagement points where prospects turn into buyers, investing in retention and upsell right after close, lets you justify higher upfront CAC, balanced by bigger, longer lifetime value. That's how you escape the monthly scramble for MQLs.
And the review cycles? They can't stop at deal closed. Sync marketing, sales, and product feedback from actual customer experience. It's actionable gold. Adjust future acquisition strategies using real behavior, not theoretical personas.
It's about steady improvement. As post-sale learnings make their way back into your acquisition process, you keep raising your game, finding new efficiencies, catching churn triggers, and reducing CAC over time, not just in the next sprint.
Checklist time. Every new region deserves a compliance map. Having a global but thorough legal and data privacy checklist keeps onboarding smooth and protects from costly surprises. But get your team ready. Training in those specific cultural sales norms is just as essential if you want conversion rates above tourist level.
Content matters too. Bring local case studies, local voices into your pitch decks. The minute a buyer sees their world reflected, you skip weeks of convince me calls. Don't use New York stories in Tokyo and expect CAC to behave.
Yep, and it's not just language. Tone, decision process, even how you structure joint ventures changes by market. When you get this right, not only do you lower CAC, but you naturally shorten the sales cycle and close rates jump.
Try small, targeted pilots for new outreach methods. Email, WhatsApp, local partners, then measure real CAC impact before scaling. It's efficient, and lets you optimize fast. Plus, every positive customer story gives you new ammo for high-performance, personalized content, so you stand out from the sea of sameness in global channels.
Absolutely. And a structured experimentation pipeline lets you chop underperformers and double down on new winners quickly. It's the only defense when CAC trends are going up industry-wide. You stay ahead rather than chase competitors' strategies.
And don't forget, these innovations, from channel mixes to creative angles, are the only way to maintain long-term ROI advantage. If your last acquisition experiment was a year ago, you're already losing ground.
Onboarding isn't just about preventing churn, it's CAC protection. The faster a customer sees value, the cheaper that acquisition ends up being over time. Post-sale engagement, and especially advocacy and referral mechanisms, not only keep LTV high, but create organic acquisition flow that's pure margin.
And advocacy programs turn your best customers into case studies, testimonials, even event speakers. Every customer voice you amplify lowers your cost to attract the next one, especially in new international markets where trusted local endorsements count double.
In chess or B2B, play for position, not just quick wins. Customer success, ongoing engagement, and active feedback cycles let you win the long game. Most orgs ignore this and pay for leads while gold sits in their user base.
Personalized onboarding by region, tailored to exact customer expectations, cuts early churn. That's already a huge CAC win. Factor in smart customer segmentation for targeted upsell and cross-sell, more lifetime value, and suddenly, what looked like a high CAC becomes ROI positive.
And don't let your best customers sit silent. Build structured advocacy programs, collect testimonials, incentivize referrals, enlist even a handful of loyal users to tell your story. That reach multiplies with zero ad spend required.
Retention is an acquisition tactic now, whether you see it or not. Every new contract from a referral, every cross-sale based on demonstrated value, it all tightens the CAC loop and rewards efficiency at every turn.
Systematically gather customer feedback after onboarding in every major touchpoint. Use it to adapt not just product, but messaging and outreach processes. That way, you don't just solve problems. You avoid creating friction for the next wave of prospects.
Regular feedback loops also flag the objections you hear most in the funnel, so you can address them proactively with new demos, tailored assets, or fixes. Suddenly, common bottlenecks get cleared, and CAC comes down almost automatically.
But make the learnings cross-functional. Train marketing, sales, product teams to interpret and deploy customer feedback quickly. CAC drops fastest when the whole org integrates insights from the shop end of the customer journey, not just the feedback department.
So let's bring this home. If there's one takeaway from today, it's that CAC isn't a marketing line item. It's a reflection of how well your entire company works together. Brand, data, sales, product, and customer success aren't separate conversations. When they align, CAC becomes something you can actually control, not just react to at the end of the quarter.
Exactly. From a sales perspective, the companies that succeed internationally aren't the ones pushing harder. They're the ones selling smarter. Better qualification, better proof, better timing. When trust is built early, deals move faster, pipelines get healthier, and CAC drops naturally. No tricks, just discipline and clarity.
And that's what we'll keep unpacking here on Match B2B Insights, the real mechanics behind sustainable B2B growth. Not theory, not hype, but what actually holds up when you're selling across borders with real budgets and real pressure.
Thanks for listening. If you're building an international B2B business and want growth that's predictable, efficient, and resilient, this is exactly the conversation we'll keep having. We'll see you in the next episode of Match B2B Insights.